Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom, there lived a king who was deeply respected by his people, not only for his wisdom and kindness, but also for the way he chose talented individuals to serve the country. By his side were three trusted ministers, men who had worked closely with him for many years and earned his full confidence. However, in recent times, the king began to sense that something was wrong. Among the three ministers, one had become noticeably lazy and dishonest, especially when it came to managing the royal finances. Though the king was determined to get to the truth, he couldn't pinpoint which minister had betrayed his trust. Instead of questioning them directly, the king decided to use wisdom to reveal their true character. He quietly devised a plan, a task that seemed simple on the surface, but was crafted to uncover the heart of each man. One morning, without prior notice, the king summoned all three ministers and handed each of them a large cloth bag. He gave a brief command. Today, each of you will be taken to a different forest. Your task is to fill these bags with the best fruits you can find. You will receive no help and no further instructions. You have only one day to complete the task. The three ministers exchanged surprised glances, but asked no questions. They knew that every royal command had a deeper meaning. The first minister was an honest and diligent man. The moment he entered the forest, he got to work. He ventured through thick bushes, climbed hillsides, and carefully selected only the freshest, ripest fruits, ensuring none were bruised or rotten. Though sweat soaked his clothes and his arms and legs were scratched, he pressed on, because to him, a task given by the king was a task worth doing wholeheartedly. The second minister was different. He was clever, calculating, and didn't like exhausting physical work. He thought to himself, the king probably won't check the quality of each fruit. As long as the bag looks full, that should be enough. With that thought, he quickly gathered fallen fruits from the ground, most of them bruised, rotting, or insect-infested, and stuffed them into his bag. It didn't take much effort, and he was pleased with his smart shortcut. The third minister, the one the king had been most suspicious of, didn't even bother picking fruits. He was lazy, greedy, and firmly believed that things could be hidden with enough cleverness. The king will probably just check if the bag looks full. He would actually open it to see what's inside. Why go through all that trouble? So he gathered dry leaves, twigs, and even small stones to fill his bag. Within a short time, it was puffed up and heavy, just like the others. He chuckled to himself, confident that he had outsmarted the king. At sunset, all three ministers returned to the palace with their bags filled. The king said nothing. He didn't open or inspect the bags. Instead, he made a surprising announcement. You will each be imprisoned separately for 30 days. During that time, you will receive no food. The only nourishment you will have is what you've collected in your bags. The ministers were stunned, but none dared to protest. They now realized that this was part of the king's test, and the moment of truth had arrived. The first minister, who had gathered fresh, delicious fruits with great care, spent the 30 days in relative comfort. Each meal was a reward for his sincere effort. He not only survived, but remained healthy and mentally strong. The second minister was not so fortunate. The rotting fruits quickly gave off a foul odor and attracted insects. Though he forced himself to eat the spoiled fruit to survive, his body weakened day by day. Illness set in, and before the 30 days were up, he succumbed to the consequences of his poor choices. The third minister realized the magnitude of his foolishness within just a few hours. His bag held nothing edible, only dry leaves and rocks. Each day passed in hunger, despair, and regret. Before dying of starvation, he whispered his final thoughts, filled with sorrow over the laziness and dishonesty that had cost him his life. At the end of the 30 days, the king summoned the first minister. With a calm smile, he said, "You did not just pass the test. You proved the value of honesty and hard work. This kingdom needs people like you." The first minister was promoted to a higher position, becoming the king's chief advisor. His name became a symbol of loyalty and sincere effort, honored by people across the land. This story is not just a lesson in morality. It's a powerful reminder that what you do today determines what you'll survive on tomorrow. The honest and hardworking will always reap lasting rewards. while those who seek shortcuts or act dishonestly will eventually face the consequences. In life, you may believe that no one sees your actions or that you can get away with doing the bare minimum. But time is the ultimate judge. You are either preparing for the future with a bag full of real nourishment or one full of empty excuses and regrets. Live honestly, work hard, and never trade your future for temporary ease.